Welcome to You've Been Trumped, guys, the week where Donald Trump issued pardons for his longtime allies, got into a standoff with air traffic controllers, teased 50-year mortgage home loans, and promised $2,000 rebate checks that have everyone scratching their heads. Johnny grabbed the lime green gloves. We're diving into another week of headlines that sound like a reboot of The Apprentice. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the SNEWS, where we cover stupid news, powered by Two Peas Out the Pod with Johnny and Shay.
What's up, guys? I'm all out of lime green gloves here, guys. But
I did that because that's the colors of our podcast.
I know,
or
but
our
I'm
episode.
all out of lime green gloves, so I will have to go regular hands deep, America.
And guys, stick around for the bonus content because we're breaking down what those 50-year mortgages really mean for regular people and why it might not be the deal it sounds like. So, guys, we're going to jump into the pardon palooza. Friends, not foes. So, Trump decided he was going to pardon over, I think, 21 people, including Rudy Giuliani and several of his allies.
Why 21? 21?
Over
Like
21.
over 21?
Yeah.
I felt like why is it over? That was like that's an odd
I don't
number.
know.
Like, why don't you say over 20 people?
Okay, over 20.
Like what?
So it was like
That's
20 allies of Rudy Giuliani, I guess.
bro. Like,
The other people were not
But no, I
important
just
enough
want
to
you to understand.
mention.
You already put it in the air. 20. That's like an odd. When people say numbers like that, it just like
Okay.
feels very odd to me.
Okay.
But at the same time, so Rudy Giuliani literally got pardoned on this one. Again, I didn't like the whole stop and frisk. That I will admit right off the back about during the reign of whenever he was there in New York. But he was alright. Wasn't. I mean, New York could have had better day. I mean, could have had a better mayor, but I mean, like I said, even this liberal one they have now going on,
Well,
what was
he's a socialist.
socialist, whatever. It's just downhill from there, man. I just like want to say, neither Republican Democrat is even better at that either. That's just
Well,
so.
that's the whole point, right? Like they've tried a Democrat, they've tried a Republican, they've tried a Democrat, a Republican. Nothing's better, so they're like, well, let's try a socialist.
And that's epically gonna fail.
I'm just saying, like nothing's working, so just
No,
try
because
something else.
okay, because epically it's gonna fail.
I know, but I'm just saying that's probably the thought process, I guess. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, guys, the White House says it's about closing chapters and moving forward, just like, the whole E-list that somehow isn't a big deal anymore. Legal.
You mean Lord Voldemort?
Yeah.
The Lord Voldemort list?
Yeah. Legal analysts note federal charges are gone, but state cases do remain if any of those go through. We'll see. Some call it political cleanup. Others are saying it rewards loyalty. It's like a presidential group chat where everyone gets a do-over, basically. And the only person that didn't get pardoned.
Oh, it was Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy did not get pardoned.
He's still asking for it, though. He's hoping in the spring when the dust settles.
Well, the pictures that 50 Cent put up of him, he looked like he was very happy, and it looked like he was about to be getting out any day now.
Yeah.
And that's why whenever I wrote in the notes, I said that, well, that's how you know it's Christmas around the corner, because everybody's getting a pardon, but not Diddy.
Wow. Yeah, pretty much, I guess. I mean, I bet it would piss you off if you knew that people got pardoned and you've been, like, calling up Trump every day, like, "Hey, man, can I get a pardon?"
I mean,
I bet you if he had the tape still in his control, he probably could have gotten a pardon. But because whoever has them, the FBI or CIA or
the
whatever,
tapes.
the tapes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now the tapes are under basically Trump's control, so he's
Yeah.
like,
So
"Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, your leverage is gone."
pretty much, man.
Yeah. So, guys, the next fun fact of the week, he got into it with air traffic controllers. So he basically told them to show up to work or else. So what was happening because of the government shutdown is 30 to 40% of basically the air traffic controllers were short staffed because they weren't getting paid. So they just said, hey, I'm going to go, do Uber or DoorDash or something because I need money to feed my family. So it caused major flight delays. And so Trump issued a statement on what's that one he uses, his own thing? Or not X, Truth Social or something.
Something freedom.
Yeah.
All I
I think it's
know,
called True Social.
yeah, all I know is it's red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Very American.
So we have the clip in there, we'll read it in a second, but, he urged air traffic controllers to return during staffing shortages and offered a $10,000 bonus for the ones that were showing up to work with perfect attendance. And he also threatened replacements with patriots who are ready to serve if they didn't show up. So it's like,
Wow.
wow, like really strong arming them there. Like, it's shut down and we're not gonna pay you for who knows how long, but get your asses to work, guys, because the president said so.
Yeah, man.
It's just
That
so weird. So the only thing higher than the planes right now is the tension and, that whole thing. I think air traffic control is already a very stressful job. Um, they have life and death basically in their hands every day, like thousands of times.
I could have swore that I thought people don't really fly airplanes. The airplane fly itself.
Yes, but they still have to direct like what one's taking off. If you haven't heard, there's been a lot of accidents of planes hitting into each other and stuff. And that's all because air traffic controllers. They're understaffed, they're
So
overworked.
let me get this straight.
Before
So
all this too.
yeah, but doesn't airplanes also have radios, and can't they like radio each another airplane and be like, hey, I'm in this area, or
Yeah, but
at
the problem
least
is the there's so much planes and stuff going on with the airport specifically.
right.
The air traffic controller has to be like, "Okay, you're cleared for takeoff, you're cleared for landing." And then they don't have time to look out all the windows and be like, "Is there one coming or is there one coming down that taxiway?" Like they just have to go. And so you go and then the other plane's going
No, but
too, and then you
check it out.
crash.
Yeah, okay, but that's like on the ground level.
Oh,
But
they
I'm
crash
talking
into each other too in the sky too.
okay, but in the
Yeah.
sky, like I felt like,
Remember
damn,
that one over, it was, like, on the East Coast where the helicopter crashed into the plane because air traffic control too?
I I vaguely heard about it,
Anyways,
but
yeah,
yeah, that's crazy.
it's a crazy job.
Damn. So we can't. So let me just show you. So we can't like like the Spirit, like that's a big yellow plane. Like, can we just make those planes like all big, bright colors and kind of reflectors in a way, and just be like, all right. So
That's
then
still not gonna do any good if you see 2 of them about to crash into each other. What do you do? Call one up and say, "What's the flight number? What's the tail number? A42. What's the
no.
A42?
I
Hey,
mean,
hey,
no,
hey,
no, no, no.
turn right, you're about to crash into A43." Like, what? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's happening.
No,
It's so
but
fast.
all right, maybe I'm not the best at air traffic control. I'll leave it to the pros on that one. I'm not gonna even try to touch it, but I just felt like, man, if I see in a vehicle or something coming towards me,
Yeah,
like
that's different. That's like
I
saying
stop.
boats too. Boats you can't turn that fast.
Yeah, no. Okay, no, I've been in the boat, so yeah, I know. By all means,
It's played the same way. You can't just be like, and especially if it's on autopilot, you can't just be like, "Oh, like turn really fast."
the movies, they need to stop making it really make it look very easy.
Right. I mean, they don't really fly a plane. Once it takes off, they put it on autopilot, but most
Damn,
of the crashes
dude.
are happening on the ground, or they're running into stuff or whatever.
Yeah, so like it's more like, oh man, dude, what's happening on the ground than in the air? Because
Yeah, pretty much.
you can say that, yeah. What I was saying about the bright colors was in the air, so it's like, oh man, I see this bright ass yellow Spirit coming towards my
The
way. I'm riding this big blue.
Spirit one don't even care about air traffic control. They just got a timeline to get on. They're in and out. Oh,
Yeah,
they ain't told us to land. Just freaking land the plane. Go. We gotta go. We're on a budget.
yeah, that's just
Kidding.
crazy.
So, guys, it jumps us to his next fun fact of the week that he's going to start 50-year mortgages. So, it sounds pretty good in theory. Actually, earlier today, I was like, actually, it sounds pretty good idea. The problem with it is the way that interest works on these loans. So, essentially, instead of having a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage, you're going to go up to a 50-year mortgage, which ideally does lower the payments, which makes easier access for first-time buyers. But unfortunately, because of how the interest works on these loans, you basically will never pay your house off ever. Even after 50 years, we'll just be continuing to roll interest or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, when you broke it down and you said that, I was like, yeah, it's
I mean, unless you make extra payments along the way. But if
right.
you're just paying the exact amount the bank tells you to pay, yeah. That's why I used to be I used to work at a bank. And when people get like a car loan or something, if they don't pay the first like 2 or 3 payments, they get so far behind on interest that just making the minimum payment, they're just making interest payments and like there's no way to get out of that cycle. You have to pay like extra. So it's kind of the same thing with this.
Damn.
So basically, critics are saying, long term debt. But I was telling Johnny, I said I was watching a documentary overseas, and they do this. They have like 100-year mortgages in some of these countries, and then they just pass it to the next family member. They don't even refinance or anything. They just sign it over, like, oh, here you go, signed it over to you because I'm about to unalive. And then you just take it on and you just pay on it forever too. And then the next one pays on it forever. And
Yeah, I mean that's why and
it's basically
most
renting a house, but you're just paying on it forever to yourself. Never gonna pay it off.
pretty much and technically that's how it was. Think back in the days like even before your folks and my folks, like that's how it was. Like when you owned that house, you owned it, you kept it.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And then over time, one family member was dumb, just like, oh yeah, let me sell it. And you sold something that could have kept on going into the family line, and then could have bought another house or get the next family or the next generation that financially was able to buy the next house, and then you have that same one that you still have probably paid off by now,
Mhm.
and then you work on another one and keep that going, and then by generational you should probably have about like 5 or 10 houses by then. That's how it used to be.
Yeah. But
uh,
now everybody wants a new house, like, every 3 years.
Yeah, that's just became a
Like,
new
"Oh, we're bored with it.
that
We're
just
just gonna get a
became
new one."
a new posh thing to do, and I was like,
Or they do
"Wow."
that thing where they buy an entry level house and then, they make a little more money. So like, "Oh, we can afford like $500-700 more a month, so let's just upgrade." So then they sell the entry level house and they buy a little bit more expensive of one. And then
R
same thing, and then same thing, and then they can't afford it. So then they sell it. And then they have nothing.
right, and
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
so it gets to a point where it's just like, "Nah, how about you just work on this one project, master this project, and then go to the next project." But no, everybody just wants to just,
Yeah.
uh,
That's how our
uh,
society works.
uh,
We're capitalism.
yeah, I've
We need
always
the
been
newest
saying it.
shoes, the newest car, the newest
Mhm.
this, the newest that. So guys, you'll own the house eventually. Maybe. But I mean, it's a good idea in theory, but it's just not the best idea. Do you want to pull up social media hit list and we can take a look at that? So, guys, while he's pulling that up, just wanted to let you know we always break this in our videos where we do social media hit lists. We pull up some things that we found that relate to our video or just funny things we saw on social media this week. But while he's pulling that up, just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting the channel. Definitely consider smashing that like button and subscribing. It is free and it does help out the channel. So, this is the other thing that happened this week. So, President Trump had a briefing in his office. It was a medical briefing they were doing with some medical companies and drug companies, and one of the people actually passed out,
What?
prompting, like, an actual, like, health
Why?
emergency.
Okay, what's with the, feet in the air, dude? Why is he holding
That's
the
the guy.
Yeah, yeah, okay, but why
So he
is
just
he
fell right over, so
Yeah, yeah,
everybody,
okay,
like,
but
rushed to his
why
side.
okay, but then why would you hold
I
so
don't
am I
know.
supposed so somebody pulls over, I'm supposed to okay, I got the feet. Am I that's like
I've never seen that before either. But the funny part to me is that Trump's just standing at the Resolute desk like,
Yeah, like, what is he supposed to do?
I don't know, like, help them, like, what is he doing? And then
I
it was
well,
just funny too, because this whole thing was about medical, and then the guy had a medical emergency, and then Trump was like, "Oh, he's fine, it wasn't a big deal."
well, because 'cause I'm sure he probably asked, "Hey, what was the issue?" Oh, he looked he 'cause you turned back on the food stamps and all that.
Well, sometimes if you lock your knees, I don't know, like you did ROTC, if you
Mhm.
lock your knees, sometimes you, like, pass out or whatever, so it may have been that, I don't really know what happened with the guy.
I just never saw that type of, position of, like, holding somebody's feet to do that, but sure.
I don't know. So here's the air traffic controller little statement he put out. So I'll just read a couple sentences of it. So all air traffic controllers must get back to work now. Anyone who doesn't will be substantially docked. For those air traffic controllers who were great patriots and didn't take any time off for the Democratic shutdown hoax, I will be recommending a bonus of $10,000 per person for the distinguished service to our country. For those who did nothing but complain and took time off, even though everyone knew they would be paid in full shortly into the future. I am not happy with you. You didn't step up to help the USA against the fake Democratic attack. That was only meant to hurt our country. Anyway, he goes on and on and on, but it's just like, wow, is this kid like a toddler?
Yeah, no, definitely a toddler, dog. I was
And guys, we're not any political party on this channel, but it's just hilarious. Trust me, when the Democrats get in there, we're gonna rail on them too. But and this is his little like posting that went along with it or whatever. So all air traffic controllers must get back to work now.
yeah, man. That's just freaking weird, man.
I've never seen a president go off so much on social media like that and
I've
just be like
never.
off
No, I think
unhinged.
the first time that we had him as president, man, I seen him on Twitter more than anything. I was like, dude, get that.
But that was like shocking. Right now, everybody's just like, oh, it's normal.
Yeah.
Like he's just nuts. And then this is another thing that's going on, which is pretty cool, honestly, if you need a job right now. But 200,000 Americans have applied to ICE. They're going to get paid $90,000 plus a $50,000 sign on bonus if they get hired for the program. So if you guys are looking for a job and you can pass like the physical and all that stuff, check it out. But yeah, this is all because Trump's trying to hire a lot of ICE people for his immigration.
So,
Obviously, you got to
is
be on board with you're going to have to go round people up and all that.
is
But
uh is Vanilla Ice gonna be in there? Cause
no,
ice, baby, you can do it, dog.
he's already rich. He doesn't have to do it.
Oh well, that's true.
That's pretty good pay, especially if you live somewhere like in the South.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You can make $50,000 sign-on bonus, you can buy a house with that. So, guys, jumping back into the video, his next thing for the week was $2,000 tariff rebate checks. So, are the checks in the mail? Trump announces a tariff dividend of $2,000 for most Americans except the very rich, he says. Treasury clarifies details still being finalized. Economists debate if it's a credit, rebate, or a promise. Estimated cost about $300 billion, which is basically, I guess, more than the tariffs brought in, according to sources. Who knows? The funding source is unclear. They don't really know where they're going to pull the money from if he does do this. It's either free money or a math problem, maybe both. I don't really know. What do you think?
I believe it's just one big math problem. One big math
Well,
problem.
didn't Obama give out whatever this is called, stimulus?
Yeah,
So maybe he's just trying to copy that. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the Alaskan. Remember we did that part about the Alaskan people get oil dividends.
yeah.
So if they are making that much money off the tariffs, maybe he is able to do this. I don't really know.
I can see the numbers. Yeah, it would that would make sense logically, but again, um another way would be to do that would be if most businesses would chip in and then they just get a bigger write off since it's hear me out because it's getting close to the end of the year. So then you get to use this as your a write off for your taxes for 2025.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So then it's kind of like a sit down with like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all of them, and be like, all right, listen, I'm gonna give you guys, you guys can write this off, give them like some type of like reference number or something, and then you guys would get this big, a big severance back on yourselves. But at least we can then cut a bunch of checks immediately, and then you guys are gonna get cut back. That's one possible way, I guess you can do it in that way.
I was just thinking if he did actually do it, it'd probably just be like when you file your taxes next year, you know? Then it'll just be like an extra like itemized. You know how there's like the income
Yeah.
credit and child credit or whatever. I just thought it
Um,
would kind of be like that, like an
then
extra
yeah,
credit.
that's
I don't
another
know.
idea too. But
But I think people really just want the paper check in the mail, you know?
yeah,
That makes them really just have a little
because then
party
they
and
would
run up
want
and down like, "Woohoo!
yeah, no,
Look, he
then
sent us money."
right. But again, an easier way would is to deposit it because then you can just go off the people's like
Yeah,
that
I
that's
know they
deposit.
will, but
So
I'm saying a lot of people really just want that paper check.
right, but again,
I
I
think the
just
$1,200 got deposited.
yeah to
Yeah.
anybody that
If you had a gotten it deposited
mhm.
before. Yeah.
So if they do it that way, that makes it a lot easier. I don't know if Trump would do that. I know if I was in his shoes, Fortune 500 billion-dollar clubs or something like that, or businesses or anything like that, then you should band together and then try to at least put your money into the pot. You'll get a write off. promised from
No,
the
they're not gonna do that though, you
I
know
know
that.
I
They're
know they're not
cheating.
gonna do it, but that seems like the most right and righteous
Yeah,
thing to
I know.
do, but,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
My mom used to always say, "You don't get rich giving it away."
That's true. I mean,
And that's the
that's
mindset, unfortunately, of a lot of them.
no, I
Until their
mean
accountant says, "Okay, Johnny, you don't pay $20 million to charity this year. You're gonna have to pay $40 million in taxes." And then you say, "Okay, write the check."
right, that's usually how it is. I believe if you read any business, like, book or anything like that, self-help book or just better finan that's one of the textbook numero rules.
Yeah. No, it was just a joke for her, like, "Oh, how do all these rich people get rich?" Well, they don't get rich giving it away, you know?
Yeah, no, but that's
Because I
one
would say that too, like, "If I ever got rich, I'm gonna, help people and start a food bank and do all this stuff." She's like, "Well,
that's
that's
not
not
how
really
it
how
usually
they
works.
think."
No, that's why I said that for our channel, it's just, like, the only thing I would this I told Shay this and, uh, I would donate to because I have a sister that got cerebral palsy, I would donate to that, I have a brother that had that whole little fiasco to, like, neurology or anything. I'll donate to those foundations. It's
Yeah,
just because those are that holds a lot to me, especially my grandmother had dementia too, so means a lot. That those are something and then, well, I would say cancer or anything like that, but my stance on it is that we have the cure for it. I just
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So, guys, pardons spark debate over fairness and precedent. Every president does them, but usually, like, towards when they're getting ready to leave office. I think Trump's just done them throughout his terms both times. So whenever he feels like it. Air traffic standoff raises safety and staffing questions. It's already pretty, I think, sketchy, even before this whole thing happened. They're understaffed, overworked. They work too many hours. They have old equipment. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to
Yeah,
unpack there.
definitely a
Um,
lot.
yeah.
I don't even wanna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
And then the 50-year loans could help buyers out in the short term, but they're probably really going to hurt everyone in the long term. But nobody cares about that, right? They're just gonna say, "Oh, how much is my payment today?" It's just like that mindset of you want that toaster, but you can't afford to buy the toaster. So you rather pay the toaster costs $25, but you rather pay $300 for the toaster because you need it now. You'd rather
Mhm.
pay $300 over a year than $25 now. It's the same mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely true.
And then the $2,000 rebate remains a promise, but there's no playbook. Who knows? He probably is just saying that to kind of shush everyone up on the shutdown stuff and then, the EBT stuff and the SNAP stuff, and then once that's all kinda calmed down and back on track, then probably will just kinda, like, fizzle out.
It's just been a hilarious Trump episode on this one, man. It's just
Hilarious and sad.
no, it's very sad most of all, but pretty funny.
Yeah. So, guys, it takes us to bonus content. So, talk a little bit more about the 50-year mortgage mirage. So, yes, you will have smaller monthly payments, but larger lifetime interest, like I mentioned. Buyers will pay more over time, but lenders will profit longer. So, the banks and them will probably say, "Yeah, this sounds like a great idea for us." You can also stretch your debt into retirement years, which for some people will be helpful. Some economists call it affordable now, expensive later, like we already talked about. The American dream now available in extra long financing, basically, instead of nobody could afford to buy a house.
Facts. I
It's
mean
like a double edged sword, basically.
it sounded great when you said it to me earlier, and but then when I you told me a little bit more into it, I was just like, yeah, mm-mm,
They're
no
gonna really
bueno.
have to mess with the interest rates on those, I think, to make it work. And I don't know. I don't know if they're ever
And
gonna
I
do that.
think that's where it would kind of hit like a deadlock at that moment
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, because the banks want the whatever the market rate is, they're not gonna care how long the loan is for.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. We'll see. So, guys, that's this week's You've Been Trumped. Hopefully, we don't have to do another video like this next week, but you never know. So,
Yeah, that's for sure. I hope not, but
yeah.
we know it's the truth. We probably gonna do another one.
So, pardons, planes, paychecks, and payments. Just another week where politics meets primetime TV. So, like I said, Johnny, cue the lime green outro and somebody double check if those rebate checks are actually in the mail. But that's it for this one, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
He's out.